So I want to thank all of you for all of the comments that you've shared throughout the course of the day. I know we only had a limited amount of time today for this conversation, but as I was alluded to earlier when we started the day, this is the start of the conversation. And this is even the start of the conversation that's going to inform the summary of this meeting. The lupus organizations that came together and hosted this meeting will in fact be putting together that voice of the patient report to submit to FDA as a summary of this meeting and all of the input that's been provided. And we know that it was impossible to get to everyone today. There may be some of you that didn't come here today thinking that you would make any comment, and when you now walk out the door, you might think of something important that was worth sharing. Or for those of you that have been diligent in staying with us on the web all day, you haven't had the same opportunity to provide your comments. Because of that, we are encouraging written comments that address the questions that we've posed today, both on burden of disease and approaches to treatment, and they can be submitted within the next week to info@lupuspfdd.com. That's email address, info@lupuspfdd.com. So I wanted to make sure that you all were aware of that. Before we move to the open public comment portion, we have 4 speakers signed up. I wanted to first speak to the drug developers in the room, the clinicians in the room, the lupus organization staff in the room, and ask you all to join me in thanking and applauding all of our panelists and audience members today. It wasn't without all of your hard work to get here and participate in the webinars that we had and sit through the conversations, and even just literally sitting in the room, I know can be a challenge. So we really do thank you. This is, I know from my own experience that this is going to be invaluable in informing drug development and regulatory decisions. So now we have our open public comment. This is an opportunity for for individuals that signed up to provide 2 minutes of comments each. This can be directed to the host patient organizations and the FDA. I'm going to list you in order, and if you can just prepare to come and speak at this standing mic here. We have Dorothy Torum, Amanda Green, Jeanette Worthen, and Kelsey Schmidt. So if we could have Dorothy come up to start. Dorothy, right here. And if the others can line up on the side there, that way we can work our way through.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dorothy Turan. I am the National Ambassador of the Lupus Foundation. I have been so touched by so many things that I have heard today. What I have been touched by most is urgency. I lost my baby sister, Weade, 1 year ago. This Wednesday will mark 1 year. She was 33 years old, and she died of heart involvement and complications from lupus nephritis. It was, quite sudden. She was feeling fine on Monday, and I talked to her Monday night, and we had plans for coffee on Tuesday. And she went into cardiac arrest twice on Tuesday, and was in a coma for the next 7 days until she passed away. And so what I am most what I'm impressed about, and what I think is so important for us all to remember as a lupus community, is the urgency in time. We don't have like 5 years or 10 more years or 15 more years for so many of you in this room that are suffering right now, that are pregnant, there's a 10-year-old baby, and Tiffany is only 19 and has a whole life to live. So what I am motivated for us to do is to really galvanize, is to be thankful for incredible power in Dr. Woodcock to be able to really push hard for treatments that are effective but that do not diminish quality of life, because every single person in this room has a right to quality of life, and they have a right to as long a life as they can live. And so while I am obviously incredibly heartbroken because I miss my sister so much, I am also filled with incredible hope, and I am filled with incredible energy to do everything that we can together, because for every single person under the sound of my voice, there is hope and there's time. So let's keep doing that together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dorothy.
Hi, I'm Amanda Green. I'm from Los Angeles, and I've been living with lupus, or I've been diagnosed with lupus for 35 years. I've been living with lupus a little bit longer. I want to thank the FDA, and we need drugs that are going to treat the whole lupus patient. And I understand that each of us are different, and we're all a snowflake, and that makes research that much harder. But if you do, like, we want to think big and, like, just make it huge. But if you start small, like, pain, and if you control the pain so we can actually get a quality of sleep so we're not woken up in the middle of the night by painsomnia, that's a small place to start. But how much would that improve our quality of life? And if you start small, and there's big dreams, and we have big hopes, and this is the beginning of something special, and I'm so glad that we're here and that the FDA is listening. But after 35 years, the side effects of the drugs can't be worse than the drugs itself. I was taking so many drugs that my stomach lining was bleeding that I had to take 5 other drugs to take care of that. So I've decided to try and go a little bit holistic, and I live in California, and all of that means, but yes, I take, it's more about acupuncture and Asian medicine and a little bit of pain relief from Mother Nature if I can. And I understand the FDA doesn't take care of that, but there's got to be something for pain between a lidocaine patch and ethyl chloride and taking an opiate, so I'm a zombie. I need a quality of life. I can't, oh, well, if you're in pain, just take this. It's like, fine, I'm in no pain, but then I'm not feeling anything. And we're advocates, and we're patients, and we're warriors, and I've only been a warrior 35 years, and I want to be a warrior 50 years, and I want to be here. I want to be, this is the beginning, I want to be here at the middle and the end. This is a long-term process. With the FDA, we need to treat the whole lupus patient, the physical, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual, the sexual, the hair. I mean, it's not a joke. The hair is important, and what we're doing is important. And I just want to thank the FDA and all of the organizations for hosting us and for giving the patients a voice. And just want to give everybody a big hug, because you know what, hugs and smiles are contagious, but lupus is not. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Kelsey Schmidt. I was diagnosed a few years ago. As you can see, there are 5 million people diagnosed with lupus, and there are so many more people out there that don't know that they have the disease because it affects so many things. That's why we're here. We need a change. Myself, I'm 34. I'm on 30 pills a day. I do weekly shots of methotrexate and do monthly infusions of Benlysta. That's a lot. And I can only imagine, as I grow older, how many more pills I'm going to have to take. That's unacceptable. I don't take that. There has to be a way that we could change that, because I know that my quality of life could be so much more. My life revolves around my health. Every single day is, how am I feeling? Can I get out of bed? Can I do this? I'm going to have to cancel something. Can I make it to work? Am I going to be able to work in 5 years? Am I going to be able to do this? So we need to make a voice. We need to make a drug that could target every one of us, and we need to make it an affordable drug, because you look at us. I go to 8 specialists. I have co-payments. 30 drugs, that's a lot of money. $15,000 a month for infusions. You got to make sure that, and a lot of us aren't working. So we need to make something that could be affordable and something that we could actually work for us with a decrease of side effects. because I do a medication and then it affects my kidney. So I got to take that off. I got to take one drug off, and then I get a flare up. So let's not just talk about this. We need action now. We need something that comes out of this meeting, because talk doesn't do anything. We need to see an impact of what our voices are met. Because look at all these faces. We deal with this on a daily basis. So thank you for hearing us, but now we want to see what's going to come out of this.
Thank you.